We are now joined by Eddie Mkhomazi, Diepsloot Residents Association Public Safety Officer, as well as Lesiba Thobagkale, South African Policing Union spokesperson. Gentlemen, thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. Let me start with you, Mr. Mkhomazi. If you can give us a sense of what kind of issues are impacting people of Diepsloot? What kind of a township is it? Just how big is it? Are you familiar with the composition of people that make up the community there?
Thank you very much. I'm sorry because my voice today is not clearly. My name is Eddie from Diepsloot Residents Association. Diepsloot Residents Association is a non-political organization. The problem that we have at the station is that that station is too big, but it's too big for nothing because the police doesn't save the community. That's why as the Diepsloot Residents Association, we came to assist the police, but at the end of the day, to us it become like the police, they are against us. When we try to assist them, they tend to be against us. But we are trying, even though they don't want to work with us. Each and every day, we even implement the boom gate around here in Diepsloot because there is some of the time that it used to have a quantum that is terrorizing our community. And then we managed to put those boom gates, and then the crime started to reduce on that time. And then we used to make sure that some of the days we used to be on a street, like patrolling all the extension. But unfortunately, we end up being on problem because our chairperson, Pindile Shabang, she ended up being arrested for doing nothing. So when we asked why our chairperson being arrested, they said they want chairperson to release all the people, those who are on the operation. But on that day, we managed to get the drug dealer, to make sure that we arrest that drug dealer. But in order for them to come and appreciate the work that the Diepsloot residents have been done to manage to get those drug dealer, the only results that they give us is just to come and arrest our chairperson. So we end up pull it back to say, okay, which means this police station doesn't want to work with us. Let us step back and then check what's happening. And then now, that's why everything is out of hands, because they keep on doing empty promises that they don't even fulfill it. That's why now the communities are frustrated, because even those people who are undocumented, they are dominating in this community. That's why it's causing this problem.
Mr. Mkhomazi, if you'd allow for us to play this by the police minister when addressing community members in Diepsloot, this is what he had to say.
NgoLwesihlanu sikhuluma nama-leaders enu, sikhulume ngo-reception. U-reception ngoba kuthiwa ikhona la kuhleli khona iy'gebengu ey'ningi. Lezo y'gebengu sokhuluma ne-leadership ukuthi labo abangekho emthethweni bakhishwa kanjani, kodwa asizukhuluma labo kuphela, sizokhuluma nangalabo ababagcinile, ababafakile, ababarentisayo ukuthi bayirentisa kanjani bona iy'gebengu.
Mr. Mkhomazi, you speak of empty promises and broken promises by the police. We saw at least one person being killed as a result of what has been happening in Diepsloot. Does that, would you say, justify the concerns that you have that someone has lost their lives, a father and a husband to somebody?
There is some people who took advantage on this operation that was happening. We don't know anything about that. Who are those people? Just people being there last night and then started to take advantage on this operation.
Let me bring in Lesiba Thobagkale, South African Policing Union spokesperson. When it comes to the capacity of the police and what we saw yesterday, some rubber bullets being fired, tear gas being dispersed, what do you make of the situation in terms of the police's capacity?
Dudu, thank you so much to yourself, and also we want to greet your viewers. As we speak, Dudu, SAPU has convened a Central Executive Committee. We are in Boksburg, whereby the Minister of Police and also the National Commissioner, they were engaged. They came here this morning. SAPU engaged them on a whole lot of issues, and those issues to do which relate to the issue of Diepsloot, which has a population of around 350,000. So we are dealing with issues whereby we are even going to focus on, crime statistics, challenges facing policing, and also the criminal justice system. But we know clearly that the capacity of the police, it is really not so sufficient. And we know clearly, we have reflected even before to that, the population of South Africa has just went above 60 million. We're talking about those who are accounted for, and what more of those who are not accounted for in terms of the population density. And further to that, we also look into what the United Nations has made in terms of a police official, the ratio that one police official should be clearly responsible for around 220 citizens within our country. And whereas the one that is being utilized within the South African Police Services, one police official is responsible for around 400 citizens. And clearly what we see in Diepsloot, clearly it shows you that the capacity of public order policing, because where there is any protest, that is where public order policing comes in. Clearly we know from the two reports, panel of experts into Marikana, panel of experts into the July unrest, clearly shows that the capacity of the police is not sufficient. And we need clearly to appreciate the effort that was made by the police minister and subs management to enroll the 10,000 police officials who are currently in the college to be trained. But looking into that, it is still a drop in the ocean, because we need to have more. When we compare a police station like Diepsloot, which it is a current case now, and also others looking to Western Cape, where there are a lot of gang murders and so on, clearly there needs to be something that should be done. And in terms of what we've pushed forth, we need to have specialized units re-established, like murder and robbery, because it does not help to come with a temporary solution to a situation that needs a permanent solution. Because bringing, a TRT and bringing whoever that you can bring for such a time being, after a while, the communities will still find themselves having to face the very same criminality that will still terrorize their communities. So, as our position as SAPU is that indeed the issue of capacitating the police, starting from the human capital, because even if you can bring so many vans within a police station like Diepsloot, which has happened, as it was reported earlier by your reporter, you still need the insufficient human capital, and also vis-a-vis the ratio that we just alluded to there, to say then how do you then mitigate the issues that needs to be dealt with. And moreover, the issue of the CPF, we have to touch on it, to say it is about time that the CPFs within our communities, indeed they need to stop to serve their own interests. So here we are seeing another group and another group, it doesn't look like there is synergy, but all of them, they are fighting for the same community. So that's why we are saying that there need to be an integration and a good relationship that is formed up amongst all the organizations within our communities that would go and work hand in glove with the police in order to curb crime, because police, even themselves on their own, they will not be able to do these duties. So it is our view that the CPF should not go and stand up for their own interests or for their own political interests when they are taking resources to do something else within the police stations. But they need to be there to say, police officials, let us work together.
Join you there as we are running thin on time. You speak of a permanent solution. Is the community of Diepsloot today is another community tomorrow. You also speak of the lack of capacity on the police's side. What does a permanent solution look like?
A permanent solution to re-establishment of specialized units like gender-based violence. We know gender-based violence, it is high everywhere, like murder and robbery, which will look into the modus operandi of those criminals, who are busy terrorizing a community like Diepsloot and the rest of other communities that are being terrorized by these sporadious matters that we are seeing. That in its own, it will not fall under general detectives. You've got these people who will go, indeed, follow up on everything because they are not overloaded with the rest of the general docket that our detectives are facing. So by so doing, they will be able to trace all the perpetrators, arrest them, ensure that they go there and oppose bail, and also ensure that they get convictions. At least for some time, these criminals, they will be taken away from our communities. From there, then, whichever crime that emerges from those communities, indeed, if they get arrested, they get taken away, and the courts and even the rest of those, NPA and also the justice, play their role. There's synergy between what the police and also what others are doing in terms of role playing. That will bring a permanent solution, because whoever that starts to go and terrorize communities, if they get arrested and then they get to be convicted and they are taken away from communities, indeed peace will be restored. And people will know that, hey, what the police are doing, it is really serious. So that forms part of the permanent solutions. And another one is to have a continuous capacitation of physical resources and also the human capital that we see, that we need so much. When we compare 2010, we had close to 200,000 police officials in SAPS. When we look now, we are less than 170. And if that capacitation of human capital can be increased time and again, so that we can go back to vis-a-vis where the police are.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. Mr. Thobagkale, unfortunately, that's all we can afford in terms of time. Eddie Mkhomazi, Diepsloot Residents Association Public Safety Officer, Lesiba Thobagkale, South African Police Union spokesperson.